This video is dedicated to graphing a line on a graph using a certain form called slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form is this equation right here, okay? Y equals mx plus b. And what it does is, notice the x and y value, those will not change, okay? So I'm going to put a little here, not change. But what we want to establish is a starting point, which is the b, and then a slope, which is the direction, okay? So looking at this, let's take a look here at the pieces here. So the m is the slope. And again, that's our rise over run. It's a fraction. And it's always in front of the x. It's the coefficient. Okay. And the b is the starting point. And again, it's the y-intercept. So it's 0, comma b. And we call that the y-intercept. And it's where it crosses the y-axis. So we have where we start on the y-axis, and then from there, what direction do we go? So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, when we do this, the m and the b will become numbers, and those are fixed numbers, whereas the x and the y are a series of million points that change and that represent the different solutions on that line. So let's go ahead and take a look at this example here. So what we want to do is first establish, is the y by itself? For this to happen, we want the y by itself, okay? When we do that, now we can establish what's the slope. So we're going to look at the coefficient, the number in front of x, and we're going to write it as 2. Now again, we want to change it to a fraction, so we have up to and then over 1. So there's our slope. Then our b, our y-intercept, I'm going to write as an ordered pair. So it's always 0, comma b. And what goes there? A negative 3. Okay. So that tells you where to start. 0, comma negative 3. And then from there, we're going to go up 2 over 1. So let's sketch it out. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. So notice I go positive 2 up and positive 1 to the right. Up 2 over 1. And notice this makes a pattern, and this is a linear pattern. So now if I connect those dots, I'm going to have a nice line that starts at 0, comma negative 3. We can see that there. And it has a positive slope of 2. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look here at another example. Now here, let's again establish, okay, y by itself, so that's good. What's the m? Again, it's the coefficient in front of x. So we're going to say negative 1, turn into a fraction. Okay. So we go down 1 over 1. Okay. And then our b, okay, is 0, comma, and the number by itself, positive 8. Okay. Now some of us will going to want to rewrite this equation and put the x value first and then the b in the back. And that's okay if that helps you out. Okay. So let's start with 0, comma 8. And then from here, we're going to go down 1 because it's negative and over 1. So down 1 over 1. Down to 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1 and so forth. Okay. Now that we have established the several points, we can start to see the line. Okay. So there we go there. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here at this example. Now in this example, notice there is no number at the back. So let's identify what pieces are what. So the m, again, is the coefficient in front of x, which is, I'll highlight it here, this value right here, okay? So here we have, down 1 over 3. I always like to put the sign with the numerator. So I'm going to go down 1, and I always like to go to the right. Then the b, notice there is nothing over here. There's no number. So we're going to put plus 0, which means it starts at the origin, 0, 0, okay? And then from here we go down 1 over 3. Down 1 over 3, down 1 over 3. And then from here, we can connect our dots, okay? And then there's our line, okay? All right, so let's take a look here at another example. Oops, forward too much there. Now, in this last example, notice it's not in the form y equals mx plus b. We like to put in this form because it's easy to graph. This is called standard form, okay? And we talked about this before. Now, so to get it into that form, we have to solve for y right there. So I'm going to add 2x to the other side. So 3y is equal to 2x plus 6. And then now we'll get the y by itself, so we divide everything by 3. The y's cancel. and we get 2/3 x. I like to put that as a fraction up front, and then 6 divided by 3 is simply 2. So now that y by itself, we can establish that the slope is 2/3, and the b is 0, comma, and then that value goes there as 2. So we're going to start at 0, comma 2. You can see that point there. And then we're going to go up 2 over 3. Okay, so up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. Notice the positive slope, so it goes up and to the right. And let's go ahead and connect the lines. Okay. All right, so now we've gone through several examples there. I want you to look at these examples here. We have this one here in good shape. This one here with more of a fraction. And the last one here you need to put into y equals mx plus b form. Okay.